one of the arguments for God is that the world is so finely tuned and on a cellular level.
There is fine-tuning in biology, and the fine-tuning is more exquisite than the fine-tuning in physics. But the argument from fine-tuning has become popular because of what physicists have discovered. And that is that the basic parameters of physics, the strength of gravitational attraction, the strength of electromagnetic attraction, the ratio of the forces between them, the masses of the elementary particles, the quarks or the electrons, the force that's responsible for the expansion of the universe called the cosmological constant. You could go on and on.
Yeah.
That all these fundamental parameters that make life possible, that make basic chemistry possible, fall within very narrow tolerances, the parameters.
Yep.
They all hitting these sweet spots, outside of which not only life, but stable galaxies and even the most basic forms of chemistry would be completely impossible. So it's many physicists are now talking about are living in a Goldilocks universe. It's not too hot, not too cold, but the forces are not too strong, not too weak. The particles are not too heavy, not too light.
Yeah.
The everything is just right, and the odds of these parameters, even some individual parameters, the odds are prohibitively small. But when you multiply each of these independent parameters, the net probability is just ridiculously small. There's one parameter called the cosmological constant, which is the force responsible for the expansion of the universe. And that's finely tuned to 1 part in 10 to the 90th power. And there's another parameter called the entropy, the fine tuning of the initial entropy of the universe. It's a hyper exponential fine tuning. It's fine tuned to 1 part in 10 to the 10 to the 123. We don't have enough elementary particles in the universe to write out that number if each one was a 0 after the 1. It's
Wow.
absurd. So it's just an exquisite degree of fine tuning. The arrow hits exactly the target again and again and again and again and again. And so that raises the question, what explains that fine tuning? And the most obvious answer to that, which occurred to the first physicists who were discovering the fine tuning, was that it's a fine tuner. That this is the kind of thing that minds do. They see a distant outcome and they say, I want to achieve X, so I'm going to make sure that everything aligns to make sure I can achieve X. And so Fred Hoyle, who was a really aggressive and quite staunch scientific atheist, discovered some of the fine tuning required to account for the abundance of carbon in the universe, and afterwards had a profound shift in his worldview and said that the best explanation for fine tuning is a fine tuner. He said, the quote was, the best data we have suggests that a super intellect has monkeyed with physics and chemistry, and that there are no blind forces in nature to speak about.